There's like 30 aspects here that you need to work on still. So what are those aspects? Like what is it that, how do men become who they want to be? Every man's like, I know who I want to be. How do we get there? What does that look like for us?
Here's the famous quote, make money, make muscles, learn game. Those are really, that's what it comes down to. And by learn game, I mean like be socially savvy, understand the nature of men and the nature of women, understand your role, God-given role of being a dominant masculine man, embracing that. I think one of the problems that most guys have right now is they're afraid to change their minds about themselves. So we want to call it, oh, that's just this macho, toxic masculinity kind of stuff. Well, when you hear that over and over again for your entire life, then you start to question things like that. Really, I think that since the sexual revolution, we have done two things to masculinity. One is we have either blurred the lines, like we've obfuscated it, we've made it something that's unknowable, or we've made it something that's kind of confusing to most guys. When I talk to guys, they'll say, I don't know how do I network with guys? They don't even know how to be men with other men. They don't know how to like be, they don't know how to like rib people. Like, well, as soon as I met you, it's like we start talking and we communicate like men communicate. There's a language that men speak and there's a language that women speak. Men tend to speak like more overtly. We say what we mean and we mean what we say. And if I'm with you, if I push you or whatever like that, you push me back on the basketball court or whatever else, or wherever you're at. It's just that
drink
kind
a few beers, beat the shit out of each other.
I call you a white mother. Whatever it is, I can go and give you grief, right? And I'm not serious. Like guys insult each other as like sort of a form of like, I get you, right? For women, maybe it's like, let's go have coffee at Starbucks and catch up.
Yeah, I love it.
It's covert.
Like, here's what God's really been showing me recently. Yeah. Hey, I've been praying for you, and like here's what the Lord's been showing me in my life. It's just sweet. It's a very feminine thing, and guys are like, bro, I've been messing up. I'm looking at porn a lot. And it's like, bro, I get it. It's like that's how the dudes are. That's how it works.
We have an overt form of communication, but what's happened really over the last, I would argue, 4 generations, but certainly the last 2, is that men can't separate the just like screwing around with each other from bullying or from hazing or whatever. They don't understand, why is this guy pushing me? Because they don't know how to relate as men. That's why men don't have women complain all the time that older guys don't have, like their husbands or whatever, don't have a network of friends. Right, because you're talking about a generation of guys who've never really had that social education, that learning education, so that they can actually talk like guys. And so when you meet a guy who can do that, you're like, oh, cool, fine, like a guy I can work with. So that's number one. Number two is so masculinity has been like blurred or obfuscated, and then it's been subjectivized like anything else. You can be whatever. I could never understand what being a man is all about. So I'm just going to make up my truth, and that's going to be whatever masculinity is. And then you get to the social construction side of things. And so it becomes this subjective understanding of what masculinity is. So when a guy says, well, I'm buff and built, but he's actually homosexual. Well, is he masculine or is he feminine? What is that? And so we get to define that for ourselves all of a sudden, rather than having a concrete, conventional definition of what masculinity really is. So you've got that. So you got guys who are fat. We need to, these are the easy parts. You got the guys who are fat. We need to get guys in the gym, right? You need to get guys who are trimming down, who are building themselves up physically. And that's not just so you look better. It's also so you feel better as well.
You feel confident. Women start noticing you.
You sleep better. Yeah.
Women, this is the crazy thing. Women notice chest and arms. They really do. And you start to notice, especially we talked about, as you get older, especially then, women are like, it's a sign of like protection. It's a lot of things for them. I mean, it's aesthetic.
Provision.
It is aesthetic.
That's why women select for height as well.
Is that why is that? I never knew about that.
Yes, because women will always go, like the one universal, arousal / attraction cue for women is height. Across cultures, across the world, a guy who is taller than, now, do you have to be 6 foot, I don't know, whatever you are, 6'4", do you have to be that tall? Maybe not, but you got to be taller than her. That's really what it kind of boils down to. So there's the physical aspect that guys need to develop, and I don't think we're doing that well enough, certainly not in Western countries. And then, of course, there's the financial aspect, which we talked about last night. You've got to be economically attractive. There's all of these little areas that and I'm not saying just become economically attractive for women. I'm just saying that to be on your game, you've got to cover at least those bases so that you can be sort of what women will call like the full complete package.
And people discount that too. It's like, and every movie is like,